Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Connect Show. I am one of your hosts today. My name is Kim Knaak. We are on episode number 4 of season number 4. Today, we're diving into the extraordinary world of small business owners. They're not always recognized for their efforts, and I can't wait to share incredible stories with you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cassandra, and I own Nurturing Generations. And we provide, we've been transforming lives since 1995. And we provide acupuncture, craniosacral therapy, nutrition, and trauma coaching. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm like half reading, half. Imagine neighborhood stroll, the cute cafes, charming bank boutiques, and choose one-of-a-kind stores. But guess what makes it even more awesome? I can't read that on the side here. Up behind each of those storefronts is a small owner giving their all to make their dream come true. Let's take a second to soak up the inspiration. Next time you're sipping a latte or peeking at a pretty display, remember these incredible folks prove we can infuse our world with creativity and love. The storefront is a canvas for somebody's heart and soul. Let's celebrate these everyday heroes turning dreams into reality. If guest hosts, never mind.
In each episode, we feature small business owners. Beyond entrepreneurs, they're risk takers, dreamers, and community builders. Starting before dawn, brewing coffee and diving into wholeheartedly, they strive to create an impact. Join us today and witness their inspiring journey on the show.
Their stories weave an awe-inspiring tapestry of determination. Emerging from humble origins in garages or living rooms, these small business owners evolve into creators of flourishing enterprises. Their journey showcases unyielding resilience, transforming challenges into triumphs. With sleeves rolled up and hearts aflame, they embody the spirit of unwavering dedication. Their exploits serve as a testament to the power of passion and hard work, inspiring us all to embrace the pursuit of dreams.
Before we move on to today's show, we want to give you a little bit of background on the show. Started in 2021, 2 full years ago, in a little bit smaller of a studio downstairs, still same building. The Connect Show is now on its 4th season. This is episode 4 of our brand new season, and we're very excited about what is in the works for the Connect Show moving forward. Sneaky peeky.
The guests and the hosts on the show are all volunteers. If you'd like to be a guest or a guest host on the show, the process is pretty simple, and we will teach you all the steps. The benefits include getting in front of the camera, becoming a skilled interviewer, and best of all, promoting your business. Please contact us to get your spot on the show.
And while the Connect Show is a show created by volunteers, we're looking for your support to keep the show growing. Sponsorship on the Connect Show is a great way to get your business seen and support your peers. It can be a commercial, plugs in our newsletters, via social media, and or our website. If you're interested in being a sponsor, please contact John or Tracy at info@theconnectshow.com.
Thank you to our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, from where we broadcast the Connect Show. Expansive is a wonderful place to work and a great community to be part of. In addition to Expansive, we have many other local businesses that help support the Connect Show, and we thank each and every one of them as well.
We have to give a very, very special thanks to MKE Video, aka John Taylor, who hangs out behind the scenes, creates the show, does a ton of video work, editing, and sends all of the stuff to our guests and guest hosts. John has a new community also called Mind Body Abundance. You can see more. He's going to put a link on the screen for you and a quick video to show about Mind Body Abundance World.
As always, we are very thankful that you have come to watch the Connect Show. If you have a topic that you think we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com.
Today, we're super excited to welcome our guests, Nicole Schmidt and Megan and Rodrigo Gregorio. Making sure employees are equally and accurately compensated and making customized handmade furniture for customers that are extremely happy every time are important factors in every business. Customer service in general.
The Connect Show is better when it's interactive. So please add your comments in the chat on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. It's easy to find us. We will bring up the comments and add them to the conversation. This is a great opportunity to get expert advice to help grow your business.
Our thanks again to last week's guests, brother and sister team Melinda and Ken, helping senior citizens downsize and move into more suitable residences, and making logos and marketing materials are commendable business that help our community.
Quote of the day: the two words information and communication are often used interchangeably, but they signify quite different things. Information is giving out and communication is getting through. Sidney J. Harris, American journalist.
I'm rereading it again because I'm wondering if I say I'm a communicator, but am I more of an information giver? I don't know. I think I do both, but I don't look at them as interchangeable. I really don't. I think they are two totally different things.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I know that I do more communication when I'm in a patient's room, working with them, providing information. So it's all communication.
So, but you said it really perfectly. You're communicating with them and providing them information. So it's kind of like you should use different keywords in there. Do we have a video today from Miss Charlene? I know she's traveling around today. I cannot see our producer. I heard a no. So we're moving on. We're going to go right into the question of the day. Have some great conversation today. Do you think employee compensation or employee compensation / appreciation and customer satisfaction are tied together? I can't say that. Let's try that again. Do you think employee compensation, appreciation, and customer satisfaction are tied together?
I totally do. I see it so many times when you're in a store. You can just tell part of it's age. And you can see kids that don't feel they're getting appreciated because they're not getting the pay. And so they're not as quick. But it doesn't hold true across the board. There's some kids that are always on. So, and generationally, I think when you hit your 30s and 40s, and I hear my clients talk a lot of times, I'll hear them say, geez, it's just hard to move up the ladder. I'm doing more than I did 5 years ago, but I'm not getting compensated. So it's a real conversation that's going on quite a bit now.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of the things, and part of why I left corporate America is a lot of companies think, okay, we're going to have a once a year party and that's our appreciation for you. And maybe it's a holiday party or whatever else. The last company I worked for, actually, we would do like team building events every few months and have a nice thing. And we did feel a lot more appreciated. I would say the management culture internally in that location that I was in was fabulous. Nationwide, maybe not as amazing, but as a general whole in the location we were in. And I think we really had great customer satisfaction and customer appreciation because we did do that. But a lot of times that falls into leadership. They're like, well, we are appreciating you. We're giving you one little thing the whole year, but people want to feel valued all the time. And I think if you feel valued, you give more value out without having to feel like it's a forced option.
I think that's true. I think I come from the medical background. So one of the reasons I left medicine in general was there is a lot of politics involved in money even being dispersed or how it's used, and the longer shifts, and you're being required by nurses to work more and more without compensation. And my son just became a nurse, so I get nervous about his health when he's asked to stay 5 extra hours after putting in 36-hour shift, like, whoa. So how do you show you value that? There's a place where you get sick if you overwork. Your brain neuroscience just shows that you can't be productive at a certain point. So I think that's a topic that's going to be out here for a while as we go into seeing how the health of the employees are affected, not just money and the long-term consequences for Milwaukee or anywhere else around the world right now. I think it's going to be a huge topic in the next 10 years.
And I think when you show appreciation to your staff, to your customers, to just in general show the appreciation that you have to give, you get loyalty. And that is not a lot of times something, if you have a great working relationship and you're appreciative of your people, not dogging in on them, you get more of a sense of loyalty than I think you would if you're just like, yeah, you're another person. Everyone is replaceable, always, sure. But you have to take it a step further and realize, are they going to be here for me in the long run? I want to take good care of them, so they take good care of me too. It's a give situation, I think.
I think leadership is really the piece. It's just not the compensation. You can compensate, but if you don't have that great leadership that sees in you and helps you express yourself, have a part of the process, like Deming, how he bought up, how he moved Toyota and stuff. You look at the decisions he made for, let everybody have a say, from the guy who was sweeping the floor, could stop the line, to whatever, was a total show of appreciation. So I think whether you're a small business or you're a large business, keeping those things in mind, how will you make that, and who can help you do those processes? That's going to be huge in the marketplace.
Leadership is key. Absolutely. I love it. I do not believe, I'm moving on over so I can see chat if we have any, because we're on a different screen. So we are moving right on along. I think we are ready for our spurt for small business segment. We don't have Heike here in studio today because she's off traveling the world, but we have that Milwaukee top 12 LinkedIn coach. We've got some information from her. Stay tuned.
Welcome to another edition of Heike's LinkedIn Insights. I help entrepreneurs and career changers take their LinkedIn profiles from blah to magnetic. You can find me on LinkedIn and at ideasharecoaching.com. Today, let's talk about your profile's contact information. Don't underestimate the importance of this section, because a lot of people don't actually have enough information in there to truly be helpful to their networking goals. For instance, you should have more than one contact email listed on your account. That way, if one of your accounts gets changed, gets hacked, you are not permanently locked out of your LinkedIn account. So it is hugely important to have at least a backup email listed on your account. You want the primary one to be the one that's your professional email that you want to give to potential clients. But you may have a personal one, you might have one through a volunteer organization. Let's say you're with Toastmasters and on our leadership team, you probably have a Toastmasters address, etc. So have at least 2 emails on your profile. Also, make sure that you have a phone number listed. This phone number in your contact information will only show up for people that you are directly connected with. So in addition to having a contact phone number in the contact section, also place it at least in one other area of your LinkedIn profile. Usually that is at the very top of your About section, but you could also have it in your current experience section and even on your profile banner. That's another great place of real estate for contact info, both phone and email. You also want to make sure that you have your website tied to your LinkedIn profile. That way people can go straight from your profile to your website. And you can list more than one. So let's say you have a corporate website that you want to send people to, but then you also have your own personal blog. You can add that in. Or you have a personal page somewhere else where you offer a portfolio of what you've done. You can add those in as well. You also want to pay attention to the location option that is in your contact info. That is tied to your zip code. And you usually, in most cases, get two choices, either the narrow one, so let's say in our area here it would be West Dallas or Greater Milwaukee. So make sure you toggle it based on what's right for you. If you're a local business with a store, the smaller one may be better. If you're someone who works remotely, like you're a coach or you have clients all over the area, then you can use the bigger area. You can even leave that blank if you work nationally, but I would suggest only leaving it blank in that case. Something I would suggest excluding from filling out is your birth date. It's one of those bits of information that people that hack profiles like to have in order to take advantage of you. So don't add your birthday in there. However, when you get notified about other people's birthdays, do congratulate them. So to summarize, make sure you keep your contact information up to date. If you've changed jobs, make sure you change that email address, and share at least one phone number or email into several of the public sections of your profile so people can reach you even if they are not your first level connections. And remember to connect with me on LinkedIn for more tips.
Thank you so much, Heike, for the deep insight and tips to help improve small businesses' social media presence. Now we're going to welcome our first guest, Nicole Schmidt. Nicole is a human resources compensation consultant with over 20 years experience in various industries. Her expertise is assessing employee compensation to provide managers an objective recommendation of competitive and fair pay practices.
Implementing a collaborative strategy, she interprets market data to ensure companies are paying the right amount for work being performed. Areas of focus and review will include incentive plan design, performance management, FLSA, total compensation, as well as the critical audit needed to ensure equal pay requirements.
Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Thank you.
You so much for joining us today. We're so happy to have you. First, we're going to dive right into the audience question of the day. So do you think I wonder where you're going to go with this. Do you think employee compensation, appreciation, and customer satisfaction are all tied together?
Well, actually, they are.
Yeah.
And I think what I heard before is, they definitely are. And it isn't always about, even though compensation is my wheelhouse and is what I really love to do, you have to pay people fairly and make them feel like they're being paid competitively. However, getting the recognition, getting the appreciation goes a long way to say, well, if you don't appreciate me, then and it's obvious when you go into a business or when you go into an office and people are grumpy and they're dragging themselves around. If they're not happy, they're not going to go that extra mile for their employer.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's a direct correlation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I've been in that. I've worked in corporate America the majority of my life, and I've absolutely been in that. And I've seen both sides.
Well, and it can be almost counterproductive too. Because
Yes.
Speaking of past working situations where I've been involved in as well, it seems that that people are actually pitting against their management, and almost like they don't
Yes.
want their company to succeed because they go, I hate here. Well, and I think people need to take a step back or having some kind of external conversations to say, am I really happy here? Maybe I should just move on somewhere else. If I'm not happy here.
Yeah, don't dog the company that you're working for.
No, but
that's not proving anything good for your well-being in the long run.
No, and it's and you can just feel like the scuttlebug that's going on, in the work situation when really they should be taking care of the customer and providing the best service that they can, and it doesn't work that way.
Absolutely.
To be a toxic situation.
Toxic was a word I've heard many, many times.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah. How do I know that I am paying my employees competitively or not, Nicole?
Well, you really need to do some research. You really need to check around. A lot of employers will kind of have a pulse check when they're hiring somebody. When they want to bring somebody new in the door and they go, oh wow, I'm going to have to pay up for this job, and then it does kind of snowball into other situations where then do they have to adjust the people who are currently on staff that there might be having some compression issues. But you need to do that's one pulse check. not always the best. I wouldn't recommend going just blindly out on the internet, because a lot of those websites that you see on the internet can be self-serving. You know, they're from trade organizations where people report in their own salary. You don't know where the data is coming from.
Okay.
Because it could come from, Manhattan or, San Jose, California. Those two areas will be much higher pay scales geographically than Milwaukee or than your community. So, but you probably want to do pulse checks on checking around what the market's like, if you were going to hire somebody, but also, speak with one of your HR professionals who may have access to salary survey data. Most all of us will, because you need that information, and it's from published salary survey sources. There's Mercer, there's William Towers Watson, there's comp data, there's MRA in this area, Management Resource Association. They do salary survey sources, and it's an objective collection of data, and then you can kind of benchmark your people to those market sources.
How big of area do they survey to get those?
It depends which source you're going to go
Okay.
to. Like Management Resource Association, that's pretty much Midwest, but you can drill down, and you want to get your industry. You want to get your size of your company and location. Those are kind of the three primary factors where you're going to want to compare your employees to similar jobs, what they're doing. Obviously, if it's an accountant, you want to measure it to accountant, but it makes a huge difference if it's a large company, a big company, if it's in retail versus if it's in manufacturing. You'd want to kind of narrow it down as close as you can to get that competitive rate of pay.
So I heard you say something that was kind of interesting. You're bringing someone on, you may have to be competitive with that pay, and upping the people that you already have in very similar positions is not something you might necessarily see too often, and that's where you'll kind of get the turnaround. But there might be other ways that you can work on compensating those people, right? So what are some of the other compensation components that you can include to recognize those employees' exceptional performance?
Well, and so right now we're dealing with this whole remote work situation, and I've been encouraging managers and business owners to leverage that a little bit. I mean, a lot of business owners want their people back in the office because it just makes for a better work environment. There's a lot more collaboration. They're able to really interact better if they're working with their group. However, due to COVID and having this where people have a lot more autonomy and they want to be home, there's a balance. And so I'm finding that hybrid situation, maybe it's 3 days in the office, 2 days at home, at least have some part of your work week in the office so they can interchange. So using that not only, and that's not pay at all,
Right.
but people do value their personal time.
Absolutely.
So you'll have your regular base pay, and you'd want to have an incentive plan. And I think that might be something that we talked about earlier, is having an incentive that is not, you don't have to pay it every paycheck, because if they're not performing, it's variable.
Yes.
And so it gives the business some opportunity to not have those locked in dollars unless they see productivity or profitability. So the incentive plans will be able to reward those people and recognize them for a job well done or for meeting their goals, accomplishing those objectives, but they don't have to pay it if that doesn't happen.
If it doesn't happen, yeah, you've got to work for what you're going to get. That makes perfect sense. And I came out of that hybrid type situation, and then it gets real strict. We want you all back in the office. But the interesting thing with that is you should also check the employee's productivity, because at home, I'm so much more productive. And some people are total opposite. They're getting, they're seeing butterflies with the TV. Oh, I got to go do a load of laundry. My dishes are dirty. But in the office, I always had someone's at my desk every 5 minutes just to chat. Sometimes it was business related, but sometimes it's just to chat, and you don't have that time waste when you do have people. So I think the hybrid option is really, really great incentive if your business allows you to be able to do that. Absolutely.
Because you still have the flexibility.
And it's not costing you anything unless you don't have the equipment to be able to do it. But
right. So there's a whole nother conversation we could have about when you have people work remotely, we need to have them be accountable.
Yes. Absolutely.
And, it kind of morphs into their another part of HR, which is the performance management and holding them accountable with regular reviews and check-ins. Are you on track? Are you doing the things you're supposed to be doing? Because and you hate to call it that, and you don't want to be police either.
No.
Managers should not be the policeman, right?
Right. And then you have to recognize that everybody has a different learning style and working style. And so that adds in if you're doing group stuff too, if you're doing the internet group too, are you getting your communication across as well? Because you are, not able to see the full.
Well, and I think business as a whole made a lot of allowances during COVID. We did. I mean, we were in a critical time for a workplace, and people didn't know, they weren't able to meet their sales goals, for example, because they couldn't get out and talk to anybody. So I think businesses as a whole put a lax on a lot of that accountability. And now when businesses want to get back to pre-pandemic era profitability and making sure that we're accomplishing what we need to do and making money, frankly, businesses are only here to make money. So we have to go back and say, if we need to have regular check-ins and, and keep them on track, whether they're working from home or not. It's just so important to make the business be successful.
Absolutely. I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why is a salary range helpful?
Well, the salary range is kind of one of those key components. It's so kind of like when you talk about job descriptions, everybody hates to write job descriptions, but that's the core of what you use to match your jobs to the market. And then when you get market rates of pay, you have median rates of pay usually, and then you can develop a salary range around it. So a salary range will give the manager some parameters to say, what's market rates of pay? Because and I do a lot of consulting with nonprofits, for example, and traditionally they haven't had salary ranges, parameters, kind of to say, well, this is good. And if you pay people above that, because some nonprofits, for example, keep on giving them, 2%, and then eventually they're out of the range and they're highly compensated for the job they do. So that's when we could build in incentive plans or other vehicles to not put it into their base and make their base so out of whack. Okay. But the ranges are just, they really are the best tool. And actually then too, you can clump some jobs together where they have similar skills. Every job wouldn't have its own range. But if the administrative assistant has the same skill set as the accounting clerk, or has that, you could say, well, that's equitable pay in your company. And then one part of the compensation strategy is to make sure that we're paying people fairly and have equitable rates of pay for the people who are doing the same job or similar jobs.
I think that's fair. So what's one tip that you could give today that would change another business instantly when they implement it? Is there one thing you could
look? It's and one of the other topics that I know you talked about earlier, but communication is so critical. What I'm finding, and it's come to light a few times in the last couple of weeks, is that I may be able to gather all the data, get the ranges for you, make sure we know what's competitive. Well, then we have to look at their performance reviews and see, is that why you're paid different? But I think managers need to have those tools available to communicate. People will only feel that you're being treated fairly if they know about it, right? Or if they know what they're doing wrong, why I'm not getting that raise, or why I'm not being paid higher in the salary range. I think that whole communication stuff, and there again too, I think it was referenced about building engagement. Yeah. If people feel that they know you've looked at their salary, it's not like you're just picking some number out of the air, or it's not like you're not giving me a raise because because I'm not doing a good job. Well, why? Why am I not doing a good job? Or you're really paid high for the market. And so that's why we feel we can put this more into a bonus for you instead. Letting people know what's going on with the business. If the business is falling into a slump and not successful, people need to know that. So I think communication is, if you're looking for one tip, I probably gave you 10.
That's okay.
But I mean, I think it all boils down to having your employees be part of the solution. They feel more engaged, and they feel more like family, more like a community.
I agree with that. I've seen that in several businesses, and it does make a huge difference for the employees. So learning about the ins and outs of equal fair pay and compensation from an HR expert was a great reminder of the employer-employee dynamic. Thanks for joining us today, Nicole. Do you have an offer/event you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, I don't necessarily have an event, but I do have maybe some tools that may help your business if you're looking for looking to identify exempt versus non-exempt employees. I have kind of a cheat sheet on that. I have a test. Usually I recommend when you're doing job evaluations to, if you say, well, am I supposed to be paying this person overtime or not? I don't know. And then these series of questions may give you that insight into what the rules are, what the government, and it really is not a business rule, it's like a government mandated rule. And then the last one I have is another tool that if people want to contact me and ask for, I can send it to you definitely, is a salary increase matrix. So it gives is kind of a scapegoat. But if you know where the person is in their salary range, how they're paid compared to market, and you know what their performance is, what would be a recommended increase for that person? Say on average it's 4. If they're low in the range and they're an exceptional performer, well, they should get more. So then this would give them kind of a guide on what would be appropriate. So
Well, that's really good material to have.
Absolutely.
We also have a page for you on our website. And does that show up or should I read it?
TheConnectShow.com. John has it on the screen right now, /Nicole, SCHMIDT.
Yep.
That's me joining us
Yeah.
today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
It was
much.
very informative. I loved it.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks so much.
We are ready for another little segment from Mr. John Taylor.
With our second guest, Megan and Rodrigo. Say you're listening.
Greggoric.
Greggoric. When Rodrigo moved to Milwaukee from Spain, he discovered his passion for crafting wood furniture.
Ganesha.
Wood is a garage-started company that started in 2019 with one console table. While working on his business, he met his fiancee, Megan, now working together to create a custom handmade wood furniture you will love. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Do you think employee compensation, appreciation, and customer satisfaction are tied together?
I do. I think it's very important. I come from a long background of working in corporate, and I know personally from a lot of fellow employees, if they weren't feeling appreciated or that they weren't receiving the compensation they thought they deserved, they weren't willing to put in that extra effort or go that extra mile. And I think in the end, what it really came down to was feeling appreciated in the workplace. I think that goes a really long way.
I agree.
You can think about it too, even with woodworking. If it was just the two of you, and I'm not sure, we haven't gone that deep in yet, but if it's just the two of you and you had the crankiest, rudest customer ever, are you going to want to take and put that extra little detail in that you would just give somebody for no reason,
Right.
to a jerk? Probably not.
Right. Exactly.
Probably not. So even being treated properly as a small business owner by the customer is kind of a big deal too.
Yeah.
I mean, you always want to do things in a good way.
Right.
for us it's something
Always.
that we like to do.
Yeah.
So we like to have fun,
Mhm.
and we like to work with clients that know what they're buying and that they appreciate what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't have that kind of people, and it's complicated to work with them,
Mhm.
and you feel forced to do it.
And that's
And
not as fun.
Yeah, no.
It's not as fun.
Yeah.
And the quality, it's not that you would give poor
I
quality.
mean, we're gonna do the same
but it's
quality,
not
but
gonna
you don't
be-
enjoy it.
You might,
don't
yeah, you
have
might
that
not enjoy it.
creativity
Yeah, it's
that
like, okay,
grows
I
as
need to
easy.
do it as
Yeah.
a job, but it's not that thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you want to feel that way.
Yeah. So we love working with
Yeah.
customers and clients who appreciate what we do and
Yeah.
love what we're
Yeah.
doing. So
I'm sure you really get when you're doing custom furniture. I mean, custom woodwork is a talent all in itself, and I absolutely love it. I don't have any pretty pieces to see, so I'm going to be checking websites out and all kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
You will
But
love it.
Definitely.
so speaking of like furniture, what would you like your clients to consider when you're working on building that custom furniture for them? Is there things to take in consideration?
we always
Well,
Oh,
go,
I was
you
gonna say we always tell our customers first and foremost when they're buying furniture from us that we're building real wood furniture. So this isn't a piece you're gonna get from like a Target or an IKEA. This is real wood. So there's gonna be imperfections. There's gonna be the flaws of the real wood, which I think I really like personally. I think it looks really cool. It's really unique. Yeah. So we just want them to know, it's not gonna be completely smooth and perfect, and it's going to have the flaws like we said, so just realistic expectations of how
I think
it's
that's
going
the
to look.
beauty of it too.
Yeah, me too.
I know. It's just
It's
unique.
working with natural
Yes.
things. Like
Yeah.
at the end, you're not buying a piece of plastic that is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like not perfect.
Yeah.
That's what makes it unique. It's a unique piece. Nobody will have the same piece because we're not making. Even if you make 100, it's not 100 of the same. Even if you make it at the same time, because every piece of log and wood is coming
You're
different.
not coming
in
from an
different ways.
MDF.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of them they have
Yeah.
holes,
Yeah.
and sometimes we cannot fill the hole because the tree is coming that way.
Right.
I mean, that's for me, it's an advantage.
Yeah.
Because when we sell, it's like this is gonna be a unique piece.
Mhm.
Nobody else will have the same piece of wood that you're paying for. That's what is. I mean, and actually, we don't give expensive, but that is what makes us unique.
Yeah.
Your piece, nobody else have it,
Yeah.
and you need to understand that. That's what you're buying.
Yeah.
It's complicated, but I mean, we're trying to sell that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not complicated. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I grew up, so we
Oh.
hunted, and
Oh.
my brothers did the skinning for muskrats and
Mhm.
stuff, and sold furs, and
Mhm.
so we had cut wood and stuff. So yeah, there's a difference in the wood, and makes it
Mhm.
really unique when you
Yeah.
create things with it.
Right.
So yeah,
And it's not easy.
no,
It looks easy, but it's not.
It
that
looks
easy.
easy.
but it's not that
It
easy.
looks
becomes
easy, but
the-
there's nothing
it
easy
becomes
about it.
the
I can't even
hand of the
stain a
artist.
cabinet
Yeah, because at the end
properly,
you need to
okay?
have the hand.
Yeah.
the
So
learned artist. You
Mhm.
know
I
what
mean,
you
you-
can do and what
we
you
don't.
can't
Yeah.
do.
We
with
didn't
certain
even know
woods.
that we could do it because at the beginning it looked so easy. But now that you are there and you're like, oh wow, this is not as easy as we thought it was. Like you make a window, but it's not just to cut. It's like you need to. At the end, you're an artist. We didn't know that we were, but now we know that we are. You know what I mean? Like we didn't even know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, so that's what makes us unique is everything we make is custom. So that's what we have. I feel like a lot of the customers that we have, because we can work within everyone's budget. We can take their ideas and create something amazing and beautiful for them. And then they have a unique one of a kind piece.
That's amazing. That's really unique.
Yeah. And we do it at an affordable price too.
How long have you been in the furniture business?
okay, so we've been. I mean, she's with me for this last year, so we've been together, working together for this last year. This business, I was 3 years ago. We started this business 3 years ago. She incorporated right now, like a year ago. So I mean, we're being 3 years. My brother started working like 10 years ago, making playgrounds. So he was the one who teach me how to do all this. When I came here, he teach me all these like
Mhm.
skills that he had, and I started like we were working for another company of playgrounds. My idea was like if they're making 100,000, we can make maybe 50,000. So if they can, we can. So at the beginning, I kind of was like in my head, I was like, I can do it by myself, you know. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's gonna do it. I mean, I don't want to have a salary if I can make all that money for myself. So that's the way we jumped. It was COVID. So a lot of people were looking for furniture like desk or console tables to work in the area. So we started with that. The first time we made one, we took the picture. We started selling like 100 every month. We were like, "This is the big." It was COVID. It was COVID. So
yeah,
the
it's a
persons were
surprise.
looking in
Cool.
internet.
Yeah.
We started using the tool of marketplace,
Yeah.
and we started growing up. I didn't believe it, but I mean, it was COVID, so we started selling many, like many. We were like, okay, this is my business. I like it. I love it. I love to weld. So we were like, maybe this is our opportunity. I can take it and let's see where we grow. And
It's
right now, we have us here. We have the
Yeah.
company.
I love it.
She's kind of the boss. She and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm with her. I work great. She know the area where what she does, and I mean, I love to work with her. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I
Good
mean,
team.
And we've really expanded now, and now we're
Yeah.
even have started shipping throughout the country. So we just want to keep growing and finding ways to expand.
That's beautiful. So what types of products and services do you specialize in? Like what is your niche area?
So we started with the indoor furniture. We make a lot of kitchen islands, bar tables, kitchen tables, basically anything inside. Floating shelves, bed frames, all of that. And now we've expanded into outdoor, doing decks, pergolas, and now we just started doing playgrounds. So we do playgrounds for
Yeah.
schools and for people's homes. So now we're doing outdoor and indoor, which has been great.
It ranges you. So you're, and especially in Wisconsin, because our weather is so all over the place. I mean, we're
Right.
going to see 4 seasons today. We might see snow. Who knows?
It's very fun.
But
true.
it gives you opportunity to work on some things in the winter for people, and then also have the summer opportunities too, which is great.
We can work inside or outside depending on the weather. Like if
Yeah.
it's coming winter, we start selling indoor furniture.
Yeah.
It's summer,
Mhm.
we sell outdoor furniture. So
Right.
that's amazing, actually.
And
we don't-
people have to want to put a huge playground in their backyard nowadays, especially because of COVID.
Exactly.
They're not going out.
No,
Yeah,
and now what we
exactly.
have is a lot of people want indoor playgrounds. So they're
Interesting.
like, we had a word like, we're gonna start working on it for the kids because the winter. So now the basements they're using it as a playground area, and
That's
now we're
smart.
working
Yeah.
on that too. That's something new.
Get it.
We're gonna start this week, so
Yeah.
Get
it's amazing.
it. Heard it here.
Yeah.
And it's nice. We have our products listed on our website and our Instagram, but we have clients all the time and customers who want something specific, and they'll send us design ideas, and we can make pretty much anything. So we're not limited to the products that we show on our website and our Instagram. Anytime people have ideas, they send it, and we can work with them and to create and design something and build them something that they're looking for.
That's kind of a starting point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Start here, get
So
inspiration, and
we'll send them some design ideas and then go from there.
awesome.
Great. So what makes your business stand out? Why do people love what you do?
I think they love what we do and we stand out because, like we were saying before, we build everything custom. So you're not going to go to the store and be able to find the same piece there. We're building it unique for the customers,
Okay.
and no one's going to have another piece like theirs. So, and we do it at an affordable price, like I was saying before. So, yeah, just unique furniture at an affordable price.
Yeah.
And do you work with different wood types, or do you just only like one specific wood, or are you like someone's like, hey, I like this, can you work with this?
We'll
Or
work with I mean, basically pine because it's the most affordable for the clients and
Yeah.
because it's really strong wood. But we can work with other kinds like cedar, walnut, oak.
Mhm.
I mean, generally because the furniture is not that expensive, people want to work with just pine and cedar. The other ones go too expensive. So like a table on oak is gonna cost $2,000, and
Yes.
people is like, oh, I don't want that. Let's gonna go with pine and
Yeah.
just stain it in
Stain it
oak,
any color.
stain it in any
Yeah.
color,
Yeah.
So we were like, yeah, we don't mind. I mean, we always give them like options, and they can choose whatever they want.
And sometimes they'll give us their budget. And we're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what we can do for this range. So
Yeah.
we can work within any budget.
That's really good.
Yeah.
What a great story. And you can really hear your passion Such a unique business tradition to continue. Thank you, Rodrigo.
No,
Thank you,
thanks to you.
Megan.
Thank you.
Do you have any special offers for the audience today? Or maybe an event coming up?
We don't have any events or special offers, but if people want to see more of our work or place an order, they can look at our Instagram, Ganesha Wood, or our website, ganeshawood.com, and they can place an order there or message us.
Wonderful.
We also on the website for you. It is theknakkshow.com/MEGGAN and RODRIGO. I wanted to spell that out. John will put it on the screen if he hasn't already. Haven't been looking, but it was wonderful to hear from you guys today. I will definitely be checking your products out because I love the handmade and I love to support local. So
And I'm excited too.
I'm
just like,
Yeah, we'll love it.
you never know.
Yeah.
All of my family might be getting some Ganesha wood for Christmas.
That will be great.
I really loved having you guys.
Thank
on
you.
your story.
Thanks for having us. You too.
Yes, we wish you the absolute best of luck. So we had quite, you guys are just going to stay up here for the end of the show, just so that you know, feel free to chime on if you want. But I think today's conversation kind of led into, you never know if they're going to tie together or not. Are they going to tie together sometimes when you have such different broad range of guests, but no matter what, these two were able to bring into their own entrepreneurial journey. And then you have someone where if you're not in your own entrepreneurial journey, making sure that you're keeping those employees in their places and are you compensating them well and taking good care of them? Do you have any thoughts on today?
I just think it was great because even as a business owner myself, hearing Nicole talk about the process, if you're in a business, this is how you need to think about things. Having that where to go for resources is really important. And still, if you are an employer, Nicole brought that to light too. And we all can use new furniture. So, and finding someone to make unique gifts for Christmas, well, you know, it's here. Thank you.
I love the playground in the basement thing. I think that is
love
such a
that
great
too.
idea for, especially for Wisconsin. We spend 9 months of our year really indoors, which is rough.
The kids, I mean, you're gonna keep the kids really busy for a few hours.
Yeah,
There.
keep
So
them
I
off
mean,
of all
that would
the
be great for
electronics all
the
the time.
parents.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to go out and get cold. They can
Exactly.
have them
They can
done.
have fun inside.
I mean,
Exactly.
They
It's
really
best of both worlds. It's raining today. I mean,
Yeah.
Especially when you have little ones, because by the
Yeah.
time you put the boots on and coats and then you put them out for 10 minutes, I gotta go potty mouth.
Right?
Take it all off again.
Yeah.
Shoot in the basement. Oh, it's heaven.
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Join us next week for our show featuring Victoria Thayer and Christina Holcomb, relationship-based accounting and therapist that helps a sensitive group of people. It'll be an interesting combo to learn more about on our next show. Make sure to tune in 10 a.m. Central every week at Tuesday. I won't be here. I'll be gone. So we have a guest. We have a guest host. Not sure who we have. Maybe Tracy Champagne will be in the house.
Yes.
But I will be gone running a conference in Las Vegas. So I'm going to be tired, but I'll try to catch up with you guys. I'm going to be on a plane during the show, but if I can watch it, I will. So we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our show today. Please help our community grow by reaching out and inviting one person who you feel will benefit from being part of our journey. Please like and subscribe if you are on social. This little act goes a long way in our reach. And if you like something you saw, please comment. We will see you soon.